Okay, I'm waiting for students to quickly join the room and we begin. A very good morning to all. Good morning, Arya. Good morning, Prajakta. Okay, before I begin with anything new, do you have any doubts with the previous topics I covered? I had told you all I'll be first taking up the previous doubts. If you have any, start posting it in the chat. Or we begin with complete fresh topics. All right, that would be done. Okay, so we begin. Today, of course, as I had mentioned on the group, Arya wants me to explain infinitives again. Okay, Arya, to plus action word. When I say to play, to dance, to sing, all of this would become infinitives. She wanted to go to bed. Okay, now here she wanted becomes my main action word. This is my finite verb. Wanted to go becomes my infinitive. Now you would wonder what is to bed then? Nothing. To is just a preposition, nothing else. So to go becomes my infinitive. I hope your doubt is cleared, Arya. Super. Let's begin with something very new, brand new today. We begin with the very basics of English grammar. Grammar stands on the roots of types of sentences, which you had done quite in your early days of schooling. Types of sentences. This is what I'm beginning with, a lighter topic, to wish you a very good morning. So this is how it goes. You have 4 types of sentences. The only reason I'm writing on the board is so that if at all you are unable to hear me, you can at least read out what is on the board. So we have 4 types of sentences. Number 1, assertive sentence, which is often also called as declarative sentence. And as the name suggests, the work of this sentence is to assert something, to say something, to state something, or to declare something. So basically, this part of sentence, the duty of this part of sentence is to make sure that they give us the information about the subject, okay, and what the subject possibly is doing. For example, when I say, she is unable to join the meeting, which should not be the case. I have resent the invite. She is unable to join the room or join the meeting. Now, if I talk about such kind of sentence, this is my assertive sentence. I am stating something or possibly I am declaring something. This is number 1. Assertive sentences, always remember, again, I take you back to your older days where you had learned that they are of 2 types. They are affirmative and they are negative. Affirmative sentences, if I talk about affirmative, they are positive in nature. When I say positive in nature, now here, rather than saying she is not able to join the meeting, I said she is unable to join the meeting. This makes my sentence affirmative. So when I say, I am very tired. Now this is affirmative, or I would say she is irregular to class. This becomes my affirmative sentence. Similarly, if I talk about negative sentences are those sentences which have negative words. Now, if you ask me which are the negative words, again, let me take you back to the days when you had learned about the negative words. No, not, never, no one, neither nor in the form of conjunction, which you did yesterday. Not only, but also. Similarly, there are certain words which are deemed, which are assumed to be negative. Now, these are hardly, barely, scarcely. Such kind of words are deemed to be negative. So accordingly, when you had learned about question tags yesterday, you know, you look at the sentence and you realize whether my sentence is affirmative, I would provide a negative question tag. And if my question is negative, I would provide positive, affirmative question tag. Yes, Prince, perfect. So assertive, declarative sentences. Assertive declarative sentences as per your CET examination would also be further divided into simple, compound, and complex. Generally, you have simple, compound, complex. Yes, Jitesh, no sooner ... than as well is considered negative. Simple, compound, complex in general basis is for all the sentences. But specifically, if I have to focus on CET and SSC syllabus, we are only going to look at the assertive and declarative sentences, and further we would classify them into simple, compound, and complex. Fine. Proceeding further, this does not need any explanation from my end. Second one, interrogative sentences. So when talking about interrogative, again, the word itself gives the characteristic of the type. Any sentence that ends with question mark, any sentence that poses a question, any sentence that asks something becomes your interrogative sentences. Here, the duty of the sentence is to ask something, to pose a question. So if I put down the question, why are you late for the class? This becomes my interrogative question. Now, remember, interrogative sentences start with two things. Either I begin my interrogative sentences with WH questions, the way I just put it on the board, why are you late for the class? WH question is why. The other thing I can do is I can use auxiliary to make a sentence. For example, I say, did you hear the latest news? Now, did you hear the latest news becomes my interrogative sentence. Again, it ends with question mark. So that's the second type of question. Coming on to the third one. Third, we have exclamatory sentence. Nothing much to remember, of course. I hope the topic is going smooth. Yes, ask your doubt, Kshitij. I proceed. Exclamatory sentences, any sentence that is okay. No. Question tags and rhetorical questions are two different things. When I say question tags, they are basically reconfirming something. They are giving me a confirmation. When I say, is it raining outside? This is my interrogative question. I'm asking you for the sake of an answer in return. When I want an answer from you, I would ask you a question. is it raining outside? And you possibly would tell me, madam, no, it is not raining outside. Or yes, it is raining outside. But when I talk about rhetorical questions, now this definitely is not a part of your types of sentences. Rhetorical question is more like a figure of speech. It is a figurative language. So for all those students who don't know rhetorical question, SSC of course knows rhetorical question. We have done this. But for anybody else who does not know what is rhetorical question, it is one figurative language that poses a question to the reader not to get an answer in return. I do not want an answer in return. Interrogative questions here, they are specifically asked to get answer in return. To get answer in return. But when I talk about rhetorical questions, they are basically asked to make someone realize that this is not the protocol or this is not how things are meant to be done. Rhetorical questions can be in a way where, for example, you have a party in the school and you dress up in something which you're not supposed to be. So I would simply taunt you saying, is this the kind of dress you wear for a school party? So this would become my rhetorical question, where my intention is not to get an answer in return, but to pose it just in order to make you realize something is not working well. I hope the doubt is cleared. That is your rhetorical question. Question tags, I am confirming. I'm confirming with you whether my idea or whether my notion about something is right or wrong. It is raining outside, and just to confirm, I would say, isn't it? That's how my question tags are. Kindly do not get confused. Okay, proceeding further, great. Proceeding further, exclamatory sentences. Again, I either want to convey my deep down feelings, okay? It could be a feeling of happiness, feeling of excitement, feeling of victory, feeling of sadness. Any of it becomes my exclamatory sentence. Here, either I begin with WH questions, but we do not use more of WH questions. We either use what or we use how. Okay, so I'll put both the sentences here for you. When I say, what a lovely day. You all came for the class. What a lovely day. Or I would say, how amazing. The painting is. Again, I can say what an amazing painting. Definitely, yes. So how amazing the painting is. This becomes my exclamatory sentence. Yes, I can also use interjections to make my sentence exclamatory. Now, again, going back to what interjections are a group of words or are words which convey certain feelings. Okay, when I say hurrah, India won the match. Hurrah, India won the match. Definitely under the guidance of the captain, Virat Kohli, no wonders. So hurrah, India won the match. Hurrah becomes the interjection, and this too is an exclamatory sentence. So far, any doubts? Great, well done. Okay, next one we have imperative sentences. Now, when talking about imperative sentences, often students get confused here. So just to make the understanding better, assertive and imperative sentences, the basic difference between the two is assertive sentences would always begin with the subject. Okay, I would say, Sheena is absent for the class. I begin with the subject. I am telling you who is the doer and what action is hence being performed by the doer. But imperative sentences, without giving you the subject, without mentioning the subject, I I'm stating something. So what am I stating? I'm either commanding, I am making a request, or I am delivering an order, or possibly, I am suggesting something. I am blessing someone, I am cursing someone, which you should not. So any of it, all of these modulations becomes or is a part of your imperative sentences. So I'll just put it on the board. Anything in the form of request, anything in the form of order, anything in the form of command, which is somehow similar, anything in the form of blessings, anything in the form of suggestions, all becomes your imperative sentences. Hope that is clear. I'll give you a few examples on the same. For example, I say, please bring me a glass of water. With the use of please here, certainly this is request. Second, if I say hang him, cruel, but then maybe the king is commanding, hang him. Again, this is my imperative sentence. Or if I say, let's go for a movie, this becomes my imperative sentence. Now, for those of you who still get confused, imperative sentences would always begin with the verb, action word. Now, why am I giving you this detail? One of the questions in your MCQs, part of MCQs could be dash sentences state request or order or command, and you have certain options. Of course, that would be imperative sentences. I hope so far everything is going smooth and you have no doubts. I'll just revise. Look at the board once again. Any doubts? Post. Good enough? Super. Proceeding further, now this definitely was the easiest one. I'll just try to give you something beyond. Okay, let's take up another topic now. Types of sentences done and dusted now. Kinds of sentences. Now, when I talk about kinds of sentences, again, this particular topic plays an important role when it comes to SSC examination and CET examination. Also, it plays an important role because your comprehension passage might have one of the questions from this particular topic, simple compound complex. Now, identification of simple compound complex is definitely an easy thing. Remember, all your simple sentences would be those sentences which are joined without conjunction. Okay, joined without conjunction becomes simple sentence. The farmer grows crops to sell them in the market. Two sentences, the farmer grows crops. The other part is to sell them in the market. I have joined them using an infinitive. This is my simple sentence. On the other hand, I have two major types of sentences, compound and complex, which is often confused by the students to make things very easy. Now, yesterday itself, you were introduced with coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. And you all know coordinating conjunctions would help you to make a sentence compound, while subordinating conjunctions helps to make you a sentence complex. So how would I remember, how would I get this this very clarity, which conjunctions would go where? Which part of conjunction would be a coordinating conjunction or which would be subordinating? The rule is very simple. Either you rote learn it or you go through the chart again and again. But to make things still simpler, I have a better way to memorize it. I'll just post it for you. When I talk about coordinating conjunctions, they are one conjunctions who would help me make my sentence compound. So I have come up with an acronym. You are quite familiar with fanboys, but then if I'm talking about fanboys, I miss out a lot many conjunctions. So a boy not seen becomes the easiest one, where A stands for and, A stands for as well as, B stands for but, both, and, O stands for or, whether, or is also another kind of coordinating conjunction. Y stands for yet, N stands for not only but also, O stands for or else otherwise, T stands for thus therefore, S stands for so still. Avoid using still in any of the structure. It doesn't make sense a lot many times the way you use still. E stands for else, E stands for either, or, and N stands for neither nor, also nevertheless. These are the parts of coordinating conjunctions. Coming to subordinating conjunctions, easy to remember. What bites you? W stands for WH questions. Any WH question, who, whose, whom, while, what, when, etc. Questions, you can frame your relative, you had your relative pronouns once upon a time. All WH questions. H stands for how. A stands for, okay, yes, however, as well plays the role. Again, how it is used in the sentence plays, you can determine whether it is used as conjunction or something else. A stands for after, as soon as, although, as if. T stands for that, than. Now, when I say first than here is used as your comparative degree, degrees of comparison. On the other hand, you can also have no sooner, than, which talks about action happening at a particular time. Okay. B stands for before. It stands for because. I stands for if. T stands for till, though. E stands for even though, even if, even after. S stands for since. S also stands for so that. And it stands for so, that. So, that is used when you remove TOO2. If you remember the rules, all of my students in the class. So, TOO2, when you are removing it, you are adding so. When you remove infinitive, you add that. So, that. U stands for until, unless. Easy to remember. What you can do at the minute is, you can just take a screenshot of the same. Of course, I will be sending. But for time being, you can take the screenshot and we proceed on to questions related to compound complex. What say? Simple compound complex, yeah. Okay, all set for it? Photograph taken. Okay, now gear up for the exercise. Let's see who cracks this first. Yes. I'll come to the simple one. First, only compound and complex. Tell me, you have the list in front of you. Reach the destination, give me a call. How would I join these two, making it compound? Which conjunction would aptly go here? Okay, but how would I join it? Yes, Vedant, Tanishka, how would I join it? Very good. Give me a call. But that would make it complex if you're using when. Aryan, wait. I never asked you to make the sentence simple. If I'm making the sentence simple, then on reaching the destination, give me a call sounds perfect. But I said compound, and compound, you already have the list of conjunctions in front of you. Quickly refer to it and give me the answer. Very good. Vedika has given the correct answer. Perfect. Vedant, very good. Reach the destination and give me a call. So I'll just put down here. Reach the destination and give me a call. Can I have any other answer to this? Provided I do not change the structure and the meaning of the sentence. Very good. So reach the destination and give me a call. Sarah, refer to the list, beta. Don't goof up. Next one would be complex. Tell me one complex sentence. Very good. After reaching the destination, give me a call. Now here you would avoid using the word you since it is not a part of the question. After you reach the destination would be incorrect. After reaching the destination, perfect. After reaching the destination, give me a call. Comma, give me a call. Or I would say when you reach the destination, sounds fine, but this is a better answer after reaching the destination, because when you say when you reach the destination, I am introducing a subject which here is not required, So one best answer would be after reaching the destination, give me a call. Now, somebody already prompted this particular answer. Simple answer, simple one. If I'm trying to make my sentence simple, obviously I'm making it without the use of conjunctions. So the easiest one is I try infinitives, I try gerunds or participles, okay, and frame my sentence. So I can say reaching the destination, comma, or on reaching the destination sounds better. On reaching the destination, comma. Very good, Milind. Reaching the destination, comma, give me a call. Fine. Great, great. Okay, so finally the topic is understood. Great. Give me the next one. Come on. The paper got leaked, therefore. Now, Vedika, avoid using the word therefore even in your normal conversation. Now here I would not consider therefore simply because I need to have strong thesis behind a group of words which is giving me a story, ideal story, and then I conclude therefore. Therefore usually is another set of sentence. We are joining the sentences and making it one. Similarly, it goes for thus, therefore, hence. These group of words, try and avoid using it. I would rather say the paper leaked, so the university conducted a re-exam. Perfect, Yashasvi, that would be a part of complex sentence. But the paper leaked, the first answer was given by Milind. Very good, Milind. Avoid Avishkar, avoid thus. The answer is totally fine. Perfect. The paper leaked, so the university conducted a re-exam. You have to pick out the best possible answer from the MCQ questions, the options you would be getting, and accordingly you will circle A, B, C, or D. All right, again, with my first class instruction that I had given you all, remember, first be sure of what the answer is and then go on to circle the OMR sheet. Do not just jump onto answering it. So the paper leaked, so the university conducted a re-exam. Okay. As would always be a subordinator. Though so sounds extremely unprofessional, here we are not talking about professionalism, Kshitij. We are only talking about which conjunction goes best when we talk about coordinating or when we talk about subordinating. Now, thus, therefore, hence, you must have seen the use of these words have, somehow not propagated by a lot many novelists. You don't find hence, therefore, thus words repeated, and that's the reason it is not repeated. Who is this? Harsh, you can put your question in the chat box. I would answer you. Prince. Okay, Prince has given me one answer which sounds extremely vague. After leaking the paper, comma, the university conducted a re-exam. Now, when you write this as a statement, the meaning, the underlying meaning of this statement would become university had leaked the papers and then it was university who conducted a re-exam. Extreme vague statement. This is incorrect. After leaking the paper, you could say after the paper was leaked, comma, the university conducted a re-exam. This sounds better. Harsh, kindly put it in the chat box. Okay, as the paper leaked, since the paper leaked would be complex, perfect. As since, why would although be a part here, Ojas? Although would simply mean something happened and what probably the action should have been taken were not taken. So, though, although would not be a part, would not be the correct conjunction to use here. So, as, since, when the paper leaked, comma, the university conducted a re-exam. Give me, yes, Prince, allowed after the paper leaked. Correct. Give me simple here, students. What can I write here in the form of simple? Because the paper leaked, yes, even that would be a part of your complex sentence. Perfect, Ansh. Very good. The university conducted a re-exam upon the paper being leaked. Very good, Kshitij. Students, gear up. Very good morning. Where is the lost enthusiasm? So, the university conducted a re-exam upon, again, Ansh, this structure upon leaking the paper is incorrect. Involuntary force who leaked the paper, I really don't know who did it. So better structure would be the university conducted a re-exam upon the papers being leaked. In English, it is very important you write the correct structure. Otherwise, the statement makes no sense. All right. Clear? Fine. The policeman let the boy go. He was young. Who's answering? Very good, Milind. I am not very happy with the first structure though. He was young, therefore the policeman let the policeman let the boy go as he was young. Fine. Okay. Okay. For is perfect. Very good. I'm waiting for your answers and then I would put it down. Don't worry. Avishkar, it would not be the correct structure. The paper being leaked. I would still give you marks, but then put down upon the paper being leaked. That sounds better. You use at least one of the prepositions. The paper being leaked, still not a correct sentence. So upon the paper being leaked sounds better. Jui, yes, perfect. The boy was young, so the policeman let him go. Perfect. Easy structure. Very good. Very good. Okay. Good, Manasvi. So I'll put the answer here. I put the answer here. The policeman. I'm sorry. The boy was young, so the policeman let him go. This sounds better. Okay. Give me complex. Correct. The policeman let the boy go because since he was young. Now give me simple sentence to this. Come on. Simple. Good. Very good, Sarah. Amazing. Sarah has given me this as the first answer. Super. Try not to make Avishkar the sentence into passive. Let the structure be as it is. Let it be active itself, so that you do not have any grammatical error. No syntax error required. Very good. Being young, the policeman let him go. Being young, the policeman let him go. Where did the word boy go? The boy being young. Very good. The boy being young. Being young, comma, the policeman let the boy go. Correct, Jui. The boy being young, comma, the policeman let him go. Very good, Suhani. And the easiest structure Sarah had given us. The policeman let the young boy go. The policeman let the young boy go. Clear? Okay. Do you wish to have more of these? Wait a second. Miss, can you please explain how to form simple sentence? Okay. How to form simple sentence? The easiest way to form simple sentence would be join these sentences either with a preposition in the beginning, okay, followed by ing verb upon, reaching, on, going, okay. You can use participles, present participles having or being in the beginning and then eventually the sentence which follows. Also, you can use infinitives. We have learned infinitives, gerunds, and participles in the previous class. So you can make use of all of them. Okay. Just make sure you are not using any conjunction. But other than conjunctions, you can put anything to frame the sentence. When I say anything, of course, it includes infinitives, gerunds, participles on the word footing. Definitely. Clear? No problem. Anybody who still wants to do more of this, then this is for them. Here you go. A few more so that you get a grip of what we are doing. Needless to say, I would be giving everything on the group, so do not worry. Yes, let's begin. Go to the library, you will find your brother. Okay, yes, very good. Go to the library. Form the entire sentence, Neha. Form the entire sentence. Prajakta, tell me which sentence have you formed, whether it is compound, complex or simple? Prajakta, Kshitij, you will find your brother in the library. Fine. Okay. Correct. Correct. Okay. Okay. The word go is missing. So what would I do to make it a better sentence, simple sentence? You will find your brother upon going to the library. Okay, fine. Sounds fine. You will find your brother in the library. Or go to the library to find your brother. Super, very good. Go to the library to find your brother would all become your simple sentences. Compound, I'll just put down, go to the library and you will find your brother. Hold on. Go to the library and you will find your brother. One second, Prajakta. Prajakta, when you say you will find your brother in the library, I am not instructing you here to go there to find him, right? My question says, go to the library. I'm instructing someone. I am making sure that the person goes to the library. So try to avoid writing the structure. You will find your brother in the library. Okay. Fine, Tanishka. Very good. As soon as you go to the library, I need to check. Aryan, resend. There are too many chats. Okay, Aryan, go to the library, comma, you will find your brother there. Sounds vague. This is not simple. Mere putting a comma in between, you do not frame a simple sentence just by putting a comma. So this is not simple. Now, one of the options in your paper as well could be go to the library, comma, you will find your brother there. This is not the simple sentence. No. Very good, Neha. After going to the library, you will find your brother there. Or when you go to the library, you'll find your brother there. Let me take one sentence where we are using the conjunction in between. Allowed, yes. Shubham. You will find your brother when you go to the library. Perfect, Prince. Or if you're writing simple, simple could also be, you will find your brother in the library. Can be one of the answers, which you all have stated already. So I'm just putting down my simple now. Okay, yeah, unless you go to the library, comma, you will not find your brother. Superb, Ansh. Yes, Ansh Mishra, good one. Simple. Shubham, incorrect structure. Incorrect structure. You do not use no sooner next to the word than. So no sooner will you go to the library, comma, you will find your brother. Super. Shubham, just make sure you're not repeating that mistake, okay? So simple I was writing. go to the library to find your brother. Good one. I'm so very happy. You are able to understand. Give me compound to this. Sunita is intelligent. Prince, 1 second, beta. I don't know where your answer is. Okay, you will find your brother when you will go to the library. Perfect. Perfect. Prince, good one. Good, Vedika. First answer is given by her. Sunita is intelligent, but Rama is more intelligent. Okay, fine. Very good. For the compound structure, this is the only answer you can put down. Sunita is intelligent, but Rama is more intelligent. Fine. So if in my compound, I have but, in my complex, I can make use of though, although, even though. Friends, I need to check. Wait, beta. I'm simultaneously writing on the screen, so it is taking me some time. You all send everything on the chat. I'll look at it. Sunita is intelligent, but Rama is more intelligent. Okay, let me see what complex sentences have you given me. Okay, even though Sunita is intelligent, comma. Now here, even though, believe me, since we are using but, you are, propelled to write though, although, even though, try to avoid that structure. It is not necessary that, two daughters of the same mother need to be equally intelligent. So when you use though, although, even though, you are propelling that they have to be, their intelligence level should be at par, which is not right. Sunita is intelligent, or though Sunita is intelligent, this girl is more intelligent. Sounds vague. Sounds vague. Do not write it. Do not write it. Better way to put it is, Rama is more intelligent than Sunita, where you are stating a fact that one of the person or one of the best friend is more intelligent, one of the sisters is more intelligent. You cannot have intelligence at par. So here my answer, better, and not even better, the best answer would be Rama is more intelligent than Sunita. I hope everybody understood why using though, although, even though would not be correct specifically for this sentence. Any doubts with this? All right, Sunita is not as intelligent as Rama. Allowed, very good. Using degrees of comparison, Jui, very good. You cannot have a simple here. Definitely, you cannot frame a simple sentence here. Next one, we are not allowed to carry books during our oral exams. We are not allowed to carry our cell phone. Yes, I guess this is what I have jotted on the board. Anagha. Okay, Milind, your structure again goes incorrect. Neither we are allowed. Structure is incorrect, neither nor, but how are you using it? Plays important role. Come on, gear up, students. Neither nor you are taught. Okay, not only but also is also allowed. Yes, not only are we allowed, as well as is allowed. Yes. Okay, I will write one answer. We are not allowed to carry books and cell phones during our oral exam. Okay, we are not allowed to have either books or cell phones. Tanishka, this is incorrect. When you say either books or an understanding that if you're carrying books, do not carry cell phones. If you're carrying cell phones, do not carry books. So, right, both are not allowed. Okay, we are neither allowed to carry books nor cell phones. Perfect structure. This is Ansh. Okay. Have I missed out anything? Okay. Jitesh, this structure again is vague and incorrect. Cell phones and books are not allowed to be carried during our oral exams. So where is this we? Where is the subject of the sentence? Avoid passive voice. Arya, perfect. Very good, Parthavi. Superb, Joey. Perfect. This is Chaitanya. Correct. Chaitanya and Brunmai. Correct. Fine. So I hope this is understood. I'm not writing any other structure for time being. Yes, yes, yes. Tell me, Kshitij. I didn't get you. Nor cell phone. Nor our cell phones. Of course, you would not be carrying somebody else's cell phone, but okay, our cell phones. Yeah. Correct, Avishkar. You want to write that sentence? Okay. Students are confused with using neither, so I'm putting it on the board. Neither are we allowed to carry books during our oral. I'll explain. Oral exams. I'm sorry. Neither carry books nor second. I made a mistake. Allowed carry books nor our cell phones during our oral exams. Okay, I hope the structure is clear. Somebody said, how would we use not only but also? Not only are we allowed, okay, not only are we, this sounds incorrect. Okay, we are not only allowed to carry books, nor our cell phones, but also our cell phones during our oral exams. We are not only allowed to carry books, but also our cell phones during our oral exams. Yes, allowed, definitely allowed, Aryan. You cannot have a complex sentence here. No, you cannot. Are you able to think of a structure, complex structure? Think then. Let me know. As well as already used, Aryan. Chaitanya and Brunmai, no complex sentence. Tanishka, I hope your doubt is cleared. Kshitij, I hope your doubt is cleared. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Humans break and hiss. Ants bite them in retaliation. Come on, give me. Shubhra, Shriya, try to avoid, therefore. I would be giving you worksheet full of these sentences. Do not worry. Even the whiteboard work I will be sending. Very good. Good, Ansh. Very good, very good, very good. Super. Come on, pour in your comments. Gargi, after a long time, has commented. Very good. I commenting. Be a part of the class. Okay. Very good. Very good, Tanishka. Okay, Milind, this would be taken into consideration. Complex ants bite humans in retaliation whenever they break ant hills. Perfect. But first, I'll just put down the compound structure. Humans break ant hills. So ants bite them in retaliation. Super. Perfect, Kshitij. Very good. Let me just take a screenshot. Okay. 1 second, Prince. 1 second. Let's move on to the next slide. Last few questions and we stop. I'm sure everybody has understood by now. Prince, give it to me back again. Okay, yeah. Humans, Prince, I got your answer. Humans break ant hills and break them in retaliation. Ants bite them in retaliation. Silly error, Prince. Perfect. Very good, Kaustubh. But we do avoid thus, therefore, hence. Otherwise, fine. Ants bite humans who break ant hills in retaliation, comma in retaliation. Then it would sound fine. Correct, Yashasvi? Correct, Prajakta? Good, Kshitij? Another why, but if, of course, if you break somebody's house, what do you think the any creature on the planet, if you break their house, would they not do anything in retaliation? You don't want them to do anything in retaliation. They would, right? Obviously they would. So but is incorrect here. But is used when there is some sort of contradiction, and there is no contradiction here. Let's move on to complex structure. As humans break ant hills, okay, fine. As because can be another structure. Yes, absolutely. When is fine. Very good, Yukta. Unless. Why are we using unless? See, we are talking about retaliation, right? So retaliation would be a part only when somebody is doing something in the first place. So unless is not required. I hope you are getting, yeah, super. How can, that's all the point, Kshitij. You have to think this. You tell me, haven't you heard of Colosseum of Rome? You have, right? Then Okay, let me just write the complex. Just hold on. I don't know the. Okay. Answers. Yes. The city was very splendid and wonderful, but okay, I have made a silly error. Okay. I got my error. I got my error. Don't pounce. The city is. Here it should be is. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought my structure was correct. I'm sorry. Yeah. The city is a heap of ruins. It was very splendid and wonderful. Now give me. Very good, Avishkar. Good. Very good. Superb. Superb. Milind, good one. Okay. Very good, Gargi. Sorry. Yeah. So I'll just put it down. The city was very splendid and wonderful, but is a heap of ruins. Another structural error on my end is the city is a heap of ruins now. That should be the structure. Okay. What was a very splendid and wonderful city is now a heap of ruins. Basically ends with an exclamatory mark. Kshitij. What was a very splendid and wonderful city is now a heap of ruins, exclamatory mark, where you are reminiscing the past. You are reminiscing the beautiful city once upon a time it was, and now you are shattered to see its state. So it should end with an exclamatory mark, and I would not put it as a part of the sentence. Good, Sinoya. Very good. Very good. Once very splendid and beautiful city is a heap of ruins now. Very good, Avishkar. Only the structure needs to be changed a bit. Once a very beautiful and splendid city is now a heap of ruins. I'll put down both the structure. Fine. Complexes. Though the city was very splendid, comma, it is now is not there. It is a heap of ruins. First one. You want me to also put down simple? Okay, I'll just put down simple. Simple. Once a beautiful and splendid city, comma, is now a heap of ruins. Okay. Let me just check Ojas. Wonderful. Where did I write wonderful? Okay, I wrote wonderful. Acha, beautiful is not there. I hope you get it. I am not going to go back and do things. I hope it is understood. Okay. Proceeding further, last room. This room is very small. It cannot accommodate a huge gathering compound. Compound could be that is simple lunch. This room is too small to accommodate huge gathering. Simple is very small. So, okay, so is fine. Yashasvi, we have introduced now simply because my sentence structure is incorrect. My structure was incorrect. And I have corrected it in simple sentence. Perfect, very good. So I'll just put down the structure quickly. The room is very small, so it cannot accommodate a huge gathering. Amazing. And my complex, that's simple. That's simple, Yukta. Yashasvi, simple sentences, yeah. Fine. I can use so dot dot that. Yes, I can. I was about to say that. This room is so small that it cannot accommodate a huge gathering. Perfectly fine. No problem at all. Let's make it simple. Simple, I guess most of you first gave me the simple structure. I'll just put down the simple one. This room is too small to accommodate a huge gathering. Yes, Sanoya, correct structure. Ansh, correct structure. Correct. Very good, Joey. You can use for in compound. Yes, you can use for in compound. The structure would be the room cannot accommodate a huge gathering, for it is very small. Okay. The last question dealing with translation. The last question. The boy failed, he never tried again. Okay, the boy failed and never tried again. Okay, fine. The boy failed and never tried again. Don't be this boy. Perseverance is the key to success. You should never forget that. Yeah. The boy failed and never tried again. Perfect. That's the structure. But never tried again. Okay, yeah, even this is fine. The boy failed, but he never tried again, which he should have. Yet is preferred or but. Here, but is fine, not yet. Of course, it is his choice. Last complex one. No, I cannot have that. No, that is not possible. Okay, Gargi, allowed. This structure is fine. Vedika, it is fine. Yes, Neha, allowed since we are using but. Though is allowed. Milind, don't write since. Since the boy failed, comma, he never tried again. Should be fine. Should be fine. Okay. Fine. Since the boy failed, comma, he never tried again. Okay. After failing, comma, the boy never tried again. Perfect. No problem at all. Great. So with this, for time being, okay, amazing students, Shubham, good one. I would stop transformation here for time being. Transformation here for time being, and let's quickly, students, I have random almost 30 students replying. I am not purposely taking up your answer. Okay, Kshitij, send me back again. I'm not able to find it. Okay, the boy never tried after failing. Now here, okay, the boy never tried after failing. Good one. Wait, students. Kshitij has given me one answer, and let me just put this on the board, just to make you understand simple compound complex in a better way. The boy never tried after failing. Now here, tell me whether the sentence is simple or compound or complex. Tell me whether the sentence is simple, compound or complex. Come on, students. This particular sentence, good, Prajakta? Okay, Yukta? Okay, Yukta, wait. Suhani, good. Tanishka, good. This sentence, for a lot of you feel since the word after is used, this becomes complex. Legitimacy, you just told us after is used as complex sentence. Understand, after is not used as conjunction here, it is used as preposition here. And so this is simple and this is not complex. This is simple and not complex. See, silly of me, I have written simplex. This is simple and not complex. I hope you understood this. Students, make sure you have conjunction and your word is playing the role of a conjunction. This also reminds me of another sentence. Let's see here. Hold on, students. Do not give me anything in the chat for time being. Just look at the board. Suppose I put down your nursery rhyme. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Tell me, is this simple, compound or complex? Sounds vague, but still tell me, what is it? Very good, Avishkar. Amazing. Amazing. Don't you all feel and is used? And since and is used, it should be compound. No, it is not compound. Jack and Jill, possibly they together went up the hill and they are considered to be one unit. Compound subject, but this is not a compound sentence. Amazing for everybody who has given me simple. Everybody gave this as simple. Very good. Another sentence could be, I had bread and butter for my breakfast. Again, you would say this bread and butter, but this is considered to be one unit. You would never have a slice of bread and a spoon of butter. It would all go together, bread and butter. And so this is simple once again. Similarly, the horse and the carriage is waiting for you outside would also be simple. Very good, Soham Shinde. Amazing. Okay, now since this is done and I feel you are quite comfortable with this topic, let me give you some MCQs on the same. I know the topic is tiring, but once and for all, let's just complete this. Okay, there we go. Come on. First one, give me A, B, C. Such types of questions can also be a part of your paper. It is MCQs. Very good, Dhruv. What type of sentence is this? C is the answer. Very good. C is the answer. Correct. Complex if you do not succeed. If is a subordinating conjunction. Yes, yes. You have to by heart the list. You have no other way out. At the most, what you can do is, I would be giving you the simplest acronym. Go through it day in, day out. It will help you. Give me the second one. What type of sentence is the second one? Shopping online, Craig bought gifts for everyone in the family. If you see here, I have used ing in the beginning, making it gerund, shopping online. This is a gerund, used as gerund, shopping online. It is simple. Let's revise the topics we have done earlier as well. It will help you. What type of sentence is the following sentence? Cassandra could not go on the ski trip because she broke her leg. Very good. 1 second, Tanishka, how is this compound, beta? It is complex. C, yes. By mistake. Don't put down the answers by mistake. Think and give me the answers. Very good, Ananya. Very good. Very good, Suhani. Give me the next one. What type of sentence is the following sentence? The team went out. Oops. Silly errors I have made. Out for pizza after the game, but Zach had to go home. Compound. Very good. Compound. Super. One set more. 1 set more. Okay. What type of sentence is the following? Eve knew traffic would be bad, so he left 20 minutes early. Good, Sinaya. Good, Suhani. Very good. Very good. Amazing. Jitesh, Kaustubh. Very good. Everybody, it is compound. We are using the word so. What type of sentence is the following sentence? The students cleaned up after they finished the experiment. Now here, after is used in the form of conjunction. The students cleaned up is one half of the sentence. After they finish the experiment is another half of the sentence. This is complex and not compound. No, this is not compound. Refer to the list I have given you. Very good. 7th one. What type of sentence is the following sentence? Fatima plays the trumpet and her sister plays the saxophone. Of course, this is compound. We have the word and. Very good. What type of sentence is the following? The last and the final one for the day. Ben cleaned the kitchen, vacuumed the room, and moved the lawn before going for a bike ride. Okay. 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 All of the answers are incorrect. If I look at the first half of the sentence, when cleaned the kitchen, vacuumed the living room, and moved the lawn, this is all actions. And he did all of this before something. Before is my actual conjunction. Before is my actual conjunction. So it is complex. Neither simple nor compound. I hope everybody understood. The 8th one was tricky, definitely. Any doubts? Shall I stop the screen? Shall I stop the screen? Super. Okay, tons of messages. Let me just go through it. Yes, you would have such kind of sentences, such kind of MCQs. You do not have to write any answer. You just have to circle it. So maybe the options for simple, compound, complex in the form of transformation would already be given to you. Need not worry about that. Okay, I hope all the doubts are cleared. Now, last and the final thing of the day, which I'm taking up. Relax. We begin with clauses. Let me first introduce to you what exactly a clause is. Now, you have come across phrases, group of words which have a meaning of their own. That is a phrase. A phrase is a group of two or more words that acts as a single unit in a sentence. It doesn't contain a subject and predicate and doesn't even have a finite verb. When I say here and there, made of silk, to the corner stone, a store, in the night sky, all of these are phrases. But if I compare phrases with clauses, clauses are a group of words which would have a definite subject and the predicate. It would have a finite verb meaning the main action word. And it may as well exist as a part of a sentence by itself. So when I say the police caught the car that was speeding, my first half of the sentence, the police caught the car, is one half. The other half is that was speeding, giving some certain specific information about the car. Which car was caught? So the car which was speeding was caught. The shop was closed as it was past midnight. First half of my sentence says the shop was closed. And why was it closed? As it was past midnight. So the second half is giving me a reason. Second half is giving me certain information. Second half is describing. I would not say necessarily second half, but for either of the half gives me as a sentence which stands on its own. And the other half is giving out all of the information regarding the first half. Yes. No, Kshitij. No. For all the students, one thing you have to be very clear. Compound sentences are two independent sentences. I ran fast, but I missed the train. Two independent sentences joined with the help of one conjunction. Complex sentences, subordinating conjunctions will always help you to form clauses. And why would they help you to form clauses? Because clauses are a group of words wherein one half of the sentence is an independent sentence and the other half of the sentence is a dependent sentence. In normal English, I would say the one sentence which is independent is the main clause, and the one which gives the answer to the main clause becomes your subordinate clause or your dependent clause. Is this clear for everybody? Let's see here for better details. Super clear as water. Very good. So there are two types of clauses. I would not say two types here. This is a printing error for sure. There are two components of clauses. One is independent clause and the other is dependent clause. Independent clause are a group of words that can stand on their own like a sentence. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. The hungry child ate the whole pizza. Independent sentences. Dependent sentences will always have a conjunction, necessarily subordinating conjunction, and then whatever follows in the form of information, in the form of description, in the form of narration depends. You will fall sick if you eat too much. So if I'm talking about the main clause, my main clause is you will fall sick. My subordinate clause will be if you eat too much. Similarly, mother cooked a new dish that was very tasty. Mother cooked a new dish, main clause, that was very tasty, subordinate clause. I hope at least with the identification of main clause and subordinate clause, you should have no problem at all. The problem area I'll take up next class, but so far I hope there is no problem. So far, I hope there is no problem. I would just, before I wrap up my class, I just want to know whether you know main clauses, subordinated nating clauses. So let me just give you few examples and we wind up the class. Just for my relief, I want this. Let's say come on, quickly tell me. Neha, very good. She owns a large estate. Becomes my main clause. This is my main clause. Perfect. And the other one is my subordinate clause. Amazing. We will not do that in detail today. Which clause? Which subordinate clause? Just help me to understand. Okay. Which is spread across 20 acres of land. Which is spread across 20 acres of land becomes your subordinate clause. Very good. Next one. Chalo, tell me. Good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good, Dhruv. Dhruv gave the first answer. So the answer goes this way. Mr. Rajesh is duped of 10 crores. This is my main clause. And whatever remains is my subordinate clause by default. So subordinate clause would necessarily include the conjunction. Yes, for all those who always get confused, which part does the conjunction go to? It would always go to the subordinate clause. Clear? One more. Okay, tell me. Very good. Very good. Very good. Who is this one? Very good, Sohani. Yeah. Sohani gave the first answer. So back again. She will be dicey of the situation. Is my main clause. Is my main clause. And the other half is my subordinate clause. Perfect. I hope this is understood by everybody. So now that we are done with the identification easily, identification of main clause and subordinate clause, the next class would be easy for you to understand. Great. Quickly, for all those who are here in the class, whatever I did today, I'll just brief it up. I started with types of sentences: assertive, interrogative, explanatory, and imperative. I gave you understanding of affirmative and negative sentences. We proceeded further to kinds of sentences: simple, compound, complex. I told you the list of conjunctions which would be a part of coordinating and the list of conjunctions which would be a part of subordinating. We did solve a few questions related to the transformation of simple, compound, complex. We had a MCQ type of question on identification of simple, compound, and complex. And we wrapped the class with understanding what is a clause and the two major components of clause: main clauses and subordinated clauses. I hope the class was smooth enough for you to understand. Next class, I would be taking further types of clauses. Till then, bye, take care. Whenever you are stuck, look at the video which would be uploaded on YouTube soon. Bye-bye, take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. You're welcome.